NBC presents the American Film Institute Comedy Special with 22 of your favorite television stars appearing in new and different comedies. Written by 4 newly discovered TV writers who won the biggest chance of their television careers with tonight's show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dick Van Dyke.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in the beginning, God created the universe, and it was good. Or so he thought. When the multitude started multiplying, and the sinners started sinning, and the heathens started heathening, it became clear to him that his ideas were being misinterpreted. So in order to put an end to all the confusion, he sent down the 10 Commandments, thus making him the world's very first writer. Without these words, Moses would have had a very hard time convincing those multitudes with a blank tablet. And you know that's the way it's been ever since. If you're going to face a multitude, get yourself a good writer. And believe me, I know better than anyone. Take a look at this. Without the words, it's a staring contest. With the words...
Listen, don't worry about it anymore.
Oh, Rob, you're so understanding.
That's what we're here for. Now, look, go in, splash some water on your face and feel better.
I wish I'd told you this last night so I could have gotten some sleep.
Well, that's what we're here for.
I love you.
Just relax about it.
You know, to this day, there are people who believe that the actors make it up as they go along. This is the best compliment you can give a writer, because it's supposed to look like we are making it up as we go along. Tonight, we're going to see an hour of comedy featuring some of your favorite comedy stars, and it's all been written by new writers who competed and won in the chance to participate in a workshop given last summer by the American Film Institute. You know, before one can get that brilliant idea for a series on the air, there is one major, terrifying step that has to be taken. The writer has to, as they say, pitch that idea to a network executive. Now, 4 of our writers tonight will actually be on the show pitching their ideas. Come on, my boy, it's your time. Where are you? Hello, Richard. Sit down right over here. Make yourself comfortable. See you along in a moment. Good luck, whatever you do, don't throw up on the carpet.
Relax, young man. I'll be with you in a moment. All set, Mr.
Richard Day.
Richard, tell me something about yourself.
Well, I'm 24 years old. I went to San Francisco State and majored in literature, but dropped out because they make you read so much. Since then, I've supported myself as a word processor while working towards this moment. If you buy my show, you get the best-looking scripts in town.
You have an idea about a comedy series.
Right. It all takes place in outer space.
We're not looking for any sci-fi this year.
Did I say outer space? I'm sorry, I meant Cincinnati. I have an idea that all takes place in Cincinnati. This kid, this artist type, goes to New York against his father's wishes to try to make it as a painter, but he doesn't. He starves, right? So he has to come back home, and his father makes him get a job in the business world. And meanwhile, his brother and his wife are having marital problems, so they leave their baby at home, too. Now, their mom, she never liked kids to begin with, and boy, is she hostile about it. So, Paul, the kid, gets a job at a company his father's best friend works for. And he does okay, too, but he feels like he's betraying his ideals, you know? So, one morning...
female problems, I know all about them. So hit her back. I never liked her anyway. I gotta go, George. I gotta go now. I gotta go take care of your child. Oh, son.
Morning. Good morning, Paul, my boy. You had another late one last night.
Yeah, looks like we're gearing up for another takeover. This one could get pretty bloody.
Boy, I never thought I'd live to see this. My son, the hopeless head-in-the-clouds artist, mercilessly bludgeoning his way to the top of the business world. That's great.
Dad, I want to quit.
What did you say?
I'm an artist. I'm supposed to paint.
You can paint at night.
Every time you kids get a pet, I end up taking care of it.
Now, Dad, I've made up my mind, and I'm quitting.
Okay. Fine. You want to quit? Quit. But you're out of here. From now on, you're on your own. I don't even want to see you at your mother's funeral. You're no son of mine.
Who told you?
Good morning, Mr. Sterling. You wanted to see me?
Yeah. And you know why.
Is it about my urinalysis?
Oh, Paul, your urinalysis turned colors our scientists have never seen before. They want to change your department logo to your face with a circle slashed through it.
Sir, there must be a mistake. I don't even take aspirin. Does this mean I'm fired?
That's what you'd like, isn't it? Sorry, Paul, you're too good. You're like your father.
Look, Mr. Sterling, I'm just not cut out for this line of work. I'm a creative person. I need a creative outlet.
A creative outlet. And you chose painting? Well, you start with a canvas and paint, you end up with paint on a canvas. Big deal. In business, you can take the anarchy of an open market and create a stranglehold monopoly. You can invent something absolutely useless and make millions of people beg to own one. How's that for a creative outlet?
Against everything I believe in.
Now you got it.
Look, Mr. Sterling, I'm not explaining myself very well. I have a resignation letter written all out. This isn't even my briefcase. It's my father's.
What? Oh, let me see.
Why, please, sir, it's my father's.
Oh, there must be something here. There's got to be. It's got to. Yes. Yes! I don't believe it.
What?
Paul, we've been planning a takeover of your father's company for a long time now. But the stock was just too high. Look at this memo.
What is it?
Remember those 3 deaths last year when their cappuccino makers began exploding?
Those were accidents.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, that's a memo where they compare the cost of correcting the defect to the cost of probable lawsuits and decide to do nothing. We got them.
I don't believe it.
When we make this public, it'll destroy them.
So you're talking about ruining my father, your best friend.
Oh, grow up, Paul. This is business. Can't let personal relationships interfere. Do you know how much this is worth?
I don't care, sir. Look, he's my father, and I love him.
You love him? Really? You love him for the way he laughed at you when you failed in New York? You love him for the way he made you beg to come home? You love him for the way he always laughed at you just because you like to draw?
He didn't mean it?
He's the only one standing between you and your mother, you know. You owe him nothing. Think what you could have. A new car, clothes, and money, power, girls. You like girls, don't you?
I can't do it.
The only thing keeping it from you is some blind loyalty you feel for a man who never understood you. A man who wants to cover up the murders of 3 people whose only crime was wanting a stiff dose of caffeine in the morning. Give me the briefcase, Paul.
No.
Give me the briefcase.
No. No,
Paul.
I can't. Paul. No.
Paul.
No.
I don't care what you're selling. I don't want any. You door-to-door creeps are all alike. You should be home doing your homework, not selling cookies. quit your job?
I was made a full partner.
Oh, Paul, fabulous. Paul, what's the matter? Why are you acting so weird?
Oh, Mom, I did the most horrible thing today.
What?
You're mad, aren't you? Huh? But that's understandable. Who wouldn't be? I just want you to know how sorry I am.
Would somebody tell me what's going on here?
I got him fired, Ma. My own father.
Paul, you were always my favorite.
Look, Dad, you gotta believe me. I never meant to hurt you. How could you understand? Look, I just hope someday you'll be able to forgive me.
Forgive you? Oh, I love you. Paul, you did the right thing.
Huh?
You did the right thing. Today, when the president walked into my office and fired me and spat on me, I never felt so proud in all my life.
What?
Paul, you got the Henderson killer instinct. Able to sell your father down the river over lunch. I doubt even I could do that. Oh, I wish your grandfather were alive to see it.
But, Dad, I betrayed you.
You made a shrewd business move.
I did?
It was incredible.
It was?
Incredible. Now you've got this big job. I'll be able to teach you everything I know when I start working for you. I will be working for you, won't I?
Sorry, Dad, you're too old.
Don't you love him? Our boy.
Lovely family. You know, every week, network executives listen to hundreds of writers selling their ideas. It's not easy, because a lot of those ideas are pretty far out.
And you are
Bernie. I hear you're looking for 8 o'clock family shows.
Yes, Bernie, we're always looking for 8 o'clock family shows.
This is a family show. It involves a big family, known far and wide for their famous recipe. Unfortunately, they've run out of the main ingredient.
What is that?
People. It's a family of cannibals. And the only people left on the island are themselves. So, week after week, they have to hide from each other in order not to become this week's entree. So the big thing is, each week, the audience will tune in to see if their favorite character winds up as the main course. Great, huh?
John LaRoquette, Kay Ballard, and Dick Van Dyke as the AFI comedy special continues.
And you are?
Michael Sardo. I've worked with the Los Angeles comedy troupe where I've written and performed sketches. Most of the things I write, like this idea I'm presenting, are about my family back in the Bronx.
Michael, tell me about it.
It's about a guy who grew up in the Bronx, raised by a very loving father and grandmother who own a luncheonette.
That's it?
Well, yeah. It's just a plain, simple story about relationships. A guy living in two worlds. And it starts with him coming back to the Bronx after his graduation from Harvard.
Really? I like that. Let's see it.
You mean that?
I don't lie.
I told you not to stop. You never listened to me. Remember, you only have one mother, and you never listened to me.
We would have run out of gas, Ma. What did you want me to do?
You should know better than to buy gas in Connecticut. Gas is always expensive in Connecticut, eh?
And we would have run out of gas, Grandma.
Yeah, that's the trouble with you young people. You have no patience. Everything you want, you gotta have now. Your grandfather waited in line 2 days for gas during the Depression. He filled up the tank. He came right home and never drove the car again. That car stayed in the garage for 2 years. Then your grandfather died sitting in the back of the car. You don't see that kind of patience anymore.
The Harvard man returns.
Yeah.
Boy, that was a beautiful graduation. Your mother would have been proud of you. It's good to have you home, son.
It's good to be home, Dad.
Ooh, and you never have to leave again.
Thanks, Grandma. That's good to know.
There'll always be a bed with clean sheets and good food. Meatballs, chicken parmesan scungili, eh?
I'm a vegetarian now.
An Italian vegetarian? All right. On your breaks, I'll bring you broccoli.
That's a long way to travel every day, Grandma.
Downstairs is far?
Where?
Here, where you're gonna work.
Here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work.
Yeah.
Dad, didn't you tell her?
Tell me what?
Well, I started to, but you know how she is.
Grandma, I'm going to work for one of the largest advertising agencies in the country. O'Connor and Hogan, it's a chance of a lifetime.
Working for the Irish? Did you hear that, Maria? Your son is going to work for the Irish. We tried to raise him right, but we failed, huh?
Well, maybe Vinny don't want to work here, Ma. He's a Harvard man. He didn't put in 4 years to come back and make no meatball sandwiches.
L'amore fa passare il tempo può passare l'amore.
Dad, what does that mean?
Love makes the time go by, and time makes the love go by.
Grandma, what does love have to do with it?
You used to love this family. You used to love this luncheonette. You said, no, when I grow up, I want to work behind the counter. Now you're telling me you lied?
Grandma, when I was 3 feet tall, that counter was the biggest thing in the world. I'm not 3 feet tall anymore. Besides, who am I to take a job away from Sal?
Who?
Sal Bilardo, the counter man. He's only been here 15 years, Grandma.
Oh, that's Sal.
What do you mean? What happened to Sal? Isn't he here anymore?
Tell him.
Oh, you see, Vinny,
He
it's like...
fired him.
Why?
Come on, tell him. He wants to know.
All
He
right,
wants to know.
all right, so what
He
happened?
was stealing.
Sal was stealing. He took money?
Olives. He kept eating olives, and the pits were all over the place.
Olives, he ate a couple of olives and you fired him?
Ah, first it's olives, then it's provolone, then it's capicola. The next thing you know, he's eating the cash register, eh?
Grandma, this is crazy.
Look, what your grandmother's trying to say here, Vincent, is this is a small family business. And it's nice to have somebody who works here who's family. And if there's an olive eater around, hey, that's okay, too, as long as they're family. You know what I mean?
No, Dad, what are you trying to say?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that with Sal gone, I'm going to have to work a lot harder here. Grandma's going to have to not be able to play Pochino at a club, and she's going to have to miss a couple of masses here and there, but, you know, we'll make do.
Dad, do you want me to work here?
I want you to be happy, son. And if you're not happy here, I guess that's my fault.
I don't believe this. Hey, what about me, huh? What about what I want? Doesn't anybody care about that?
Hey, you got what you wanted when you were a little baby, when you couldn't take care of yourself. You got what you wanted. Now you've got to give us what we want.
What do you want?
I want to live to see you successful.
Grandma, when I was in grammar school, you said you only wanted to live long enough to see me get into a good Catholic high school.
And you did.
And I did.
And I lived. Because I wanted to see you get into a good college. And you did.
And I did.
And I lived. So why are you trying to kill me now?
Grandma, I'm not trying to kill you. I don't even know what you want.
I want you to take all that education you got and use it here.
You scrape and you save. You send me to college for 4 years so I can come back and be a counterman?
Well, you could stay around and help your father make things a little easier for him. Take over when he's gone. Which could be any time now.
Thanks, Ma.
You could carry on the family name, carry on the family business, get back with the Belisario girl, marry her.
The butcher's daughter? Fat Angela?
Fat Angela. Fat Angela will give you a nice, healthy grandson.
Or a calf?
Hey! Pay back the family. Blood is thicker than water,
Grandma, I did not get a degree in salami slicing.
Salami put you through college. Disgraziati.
I'm an English major.
Come on, stop it. Basta, enough. Stop it now. Basta. That's it, enough. This is what Vincent come home for? Look, you got your education, great. Sure, I helped pay for it, but you did the studying. You do with it whatever you want. And Mama, whatever Vincent does is his business. How we get along here is not for him to worry. I mean, sure, we're gonna miss him, but we can't stop him. The whole idea for him to go to college was that he should better himself, to learn a profession, start a career, wear a suit. Now, that's it. I don't want to hear nothing more about this in English and Italian. Nothing more, all right? Capisce? That's it.
Look, Dad, Grandma, this is not part of my plan. But if this is okay with you, I would like you both to think about it. I don't have to be at work until 10 while I'm in my training program. So, the next 2 months, I'll come in the mornings and I'm going to help out. And at night and on the weekend, I'll come in. You two, you'll take a break.
You don't have to do this, Vincent.
I know I don't, Dad. I want to.
Oh, Mama, good. You're happy.
I'll consider this my rent till I get my own place.
What do you mean your own place? What? Vinny, I'll make you a nice breakfast every morning.
You're sweet, Grandma. But I don't usually eat breakfast.
Hey, they rush, these kids. Your Uncle Carmine, my brother, on the way to surgery for his hernia, realized he didn't have breakfast. So I snuck him a nice plate of polenta. He ate it before they shaved him. Then they operated.
Mama, he died.
Thank God, on a full stomach.
Okay, Nona. A nice plate of polenta. Papa, when do we start?
So what do you think? This alien comes to Earth disguised as a styrofoam ice chest and falls in love with a six-pack of beer and...
Please.
I know my ideas are far out, but... Geez, I mean, talk about far out. I mean, I heard there was a show on about this guy whose mother dies and comes back as a car.
I bought that show.
You've probably read a lot about writers being neurotic and lonely and insecure. I'd like to give you a few facts that might just explain why. Every year, approximately 3,000 ideas are presented for a series to the networks. Now, of those 3,000, approximately 300 are deemed good enough by the network to go ahead with a pilot script. Now, of those 300, only about 75 will actually be done as a pilot. And of those 75 pilots that are shot, only 15, possibly 20, will ever get on the air. And as you probably have seen in the past, once on the air is no guarantee of success at all. Maybe 3 out of those 15 will survive that whole season. Now that makes 3 out of 3,000 that make it. So the chance of having a successful show on the air are 1 in 1,000. So if your child says he wants to be a writer for television, talk him into selling beach umbrellas in Iceland. It's just the odds are better. Right now, here's another one of that 1 in 1,000 group that just could make it.
Hi, I'm Leslie Fuller.
Hi, Leslie. My people say you're very funny.
They do? That's cool. I guess they know me from the National Lampoon. Or maybe they know me as a songwriter or a video artist. I don't know. The label I prefer is humorist. Anyway, you want to hear my idea?
Is it funny?
It's hysterical. There's this old show called The Rec Room, see? And each week there's a surprise guest picked from the studio audience. And in the pilot, it's this very amusing woman whose boyfriend left her and broke her heart so bad that she winds up in the sanitarium because she just doesn't take rejection all that well. It's really hilarious.
It is?
Well, yeah, especially when she tries to end it all by strapping 25 volumes of the encyclopedia to her body and jumping in the lake.
You mean she drowned?
Well, no. It was the paperback edition.
Are you sure this is a comedy?
Well, yeah, the space cadet shows up at the TV studio with a nurse on a therapeutic field trip, having accidentally wound up with a ticket belonging to this week's surprise audience guest.
Okay, listen, now let's try some audience response. Just look at the signs right over there. Oh, hey, you're a terrific audience. That was great. Go to the next sign. Go to the next sign. Wonderful. 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 One more sign. One more sign. Fantastic. That's fantastic. Look at the monitors right there above your heads because it's time for the Rec Room with Skip Distance and his combo. Life was a drag. Now it's a gas. Snake in the bag. Cat in the grass. Stuffing my teeth. Meeting the perfect stranger. And that's you. Hello. Welcome to the Rec Room, the place you've been looking for your whole long day's journey into Night of the Iguana. My name is Skip Distance, and I'm a wreck. Hi, Skip. Are there any other wrecks here today? Yeah. Then you are in the right place, because the buck stops somewhere over the rainbow. So kick off your bluebirds and relax, cats, in this your own backyard of happiness.
We're happy already.
Speaking of which, I think it's about time we made one of the members of our studio audience insanely happy. I'm referring, of course, to our wreck for a day. So with no further ado, let's bring her up here for the time of her lifesaver.
Mary, relax. Just think of it as group therapy. Just be yourself.
Hey, you darling. How does it feel to be in a wreck for the day? Well, she's a tad on the shy side. What's your name, honey?
Mary?
Hi, Mary. Hey, where do you call home?
From the payphone at the end of the hall.
Isn't she something?
We love her already.
Hey, Mary, you know what? That's a real cool coat you're wearing, but, baby, I think you got it on backwards. Let old Skip help with you off, and tell me, while we're doing this, tell me a little bitty bite-sized bit about yourself, huh?
Well, everything was fine until...
You met a man.
Uh-huh.
And you loved him, and he said he loved you.
Uh-huh. Then one day...
He told you to take a long walk off a short pier.
And when I...
begged him for another chance, he told you to get lost.
And so, I got lost.
Well, don't you fret, honey, because it is always darkest before the dawn's early light at the end of the tunnel of love. Now, Mary, darling, it is time for your past to come alive.
When you were a good child, I'd rock you. And when you were bad, I'd make you go out on the porch and eat flies.
Yes, it's your grandmama, Urena, who you haven't seen in over 25 years. And that's not all.
When you were a wee small child, your favorite thing in the world was to find an enormous great water beetle, pierce it with a toothpick, and then wave the hideous wriggling thing under the nose of our dear Aunt Gracie till she collapsed and fell fainted in a heap.
It's your long-lost brother, Father Sean, who you haven't seen in over 25 years. We flew him all the way in from Rhodesia. That's what we used to call Zimbabwe back in 1956.
Mary.
Oh. And that's not all.
Remember when we were kids and no one could tell us apart.
It's April, your twin sister, who you haven't seen in over 20 years. Whoa.
Oh, sis, I'm so happy.
Oh, no. Having your nearest and dearest like this so close to you must make you feel as lucky as Peach in fuzz, huh, Mary?
I've never seen any of these people before.
Excuse me.
Are you a wreck?
No, I'm her nurse. Mary has a memory problem. She's disconnected.
Oh, yeah? What is she? A telephone? Thank you.
This is definitely not my life. This is somebody else's life. I'm going home.
Mary, my darling. I was a fool to leave you, but I felt I had to see the world as a Navy frogman. I couldn't get you out of my mind, though, even at 5,000 feet below sea level. All I want is for you to forgive me and to take me back.
Yes, Mary, it's your long-lost lover, Butch Turtle.
On the other hand, this could be my life.
I think it's coming back to her now.
You look wonderful. You're so handsome.
I know, especially in my uniform.
I never stopped loving you, Butch. Not for 1 second.
Okie dokie, now stay tuned, because we're going to be right back after these few words from the makers of cigars and cigarettes. That's who our sponsors were back in 1956.
Commercial!
I still don't get it.
Look, you will, because it's about the golden age of black and white TV when comedy was king and hysteria was queen, okay? What Mary doesn't realize, see, is that Butch isn't the guy that broke her heart. He's just an actor. They're all actors. The priest, the grandmother, the blonde. You think a tacky little show like this can afford to fly some priest all the way in from Africa?
Oh, Grandma, was I a clean child, or was I covered with dust? Was I good, or did I set industrial fires? Did we have a dog, or maybe just an ant farm? Did we live in a house, or in a packing crate? Butch!
Oops. Gotta go.
But we just got back together.
Oh, you can't leave. The show's not over yet.
I already cleared it with the producers. I've got a big audition. They're doing a musical version of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Love you.
10 seconds to air.
He's an actor? I thought he was Frogman.
Welcome back to the rec room, where our wreck for a day has been reunited with our hot streetcar named Desire under the elms and all of these other cherished people from her past. A miracle like this could only happen on television or in real life. Right, Nary?
She's gone again.
On this series, a many-splendored thing happens to whoever the wreck for the day is. Like right here. Instead of regressing, Mary gets launched on this glitz-filled path to superstardom. I want it to feel like we're witnessing the birth of rock and roll, using natural childbirth.
I will tell you this. showed up, complete stranger, and now she's a friend. A miracle that could only happen because of television, because of which we never, ever have to be lonely again in our own lifetime.
Feel good, I feel good.
I still don't get it.
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're back. What was your name again?
Danny. This time, you're gonna love it.
What is it?
Okay. Big budget. Lavish sets. Lots of makeup. Takes place in exotic locations all over the world.
Oh?
It's called After the Door Swings Shut. And it's about the women who work in ladies' restrooms. And it takes place in these incredible hotels and resorts, and the struggle for power that only they see.
It was very nice to see you again.
No, no, no. Guys would love it because they never see what goes on in there. And most women never get to go to those really nice kind of bathrooms.
It's too expensive.
No, no, no. See, it's a great idea because you can say you're in Rio de Janeiro, but you don't have to film there because it's just a bathroom. A seat's a seat.
You're a sick man.
Thank you. You're very kind.
I'm sorry, you said Dale Chapman?
No, Del Chapman. Wrote my first script when I was 12, and I like to write about the fact that people need love. As long as I write about that, I figure I will never run out of material.
Del, tell us what you have for us.
Well, what if there were this woman about my age with my education, my colorful personality, if you catch my meaning? A lady who gives men the benefit of the doubt when all they deserve is the doubt.
Aha, the give a guy a break girl.
That's my Gwendolyn. She's a child psychologist who shares a suite of offices with 3 other shrinks, a husband and wife team who counsel troubled marriages, and another bachelor psychologist who's carrying the torch for Gwen. But she ignores him because she's really in love with another man.
What other man?
A guy who's having his divorce wounds nursed by the marriage counselors in the office. So while her relationship with men is kind of a problem, she doesn't let that stand in the way of her professional life, which is working with kids. I open the story in the middle of a session.
Mommy's a bozo. Daddy's a bozo. My sister's a bozo. And you're the king of the bozos. I kill bozo.
Here, you can choke Teddy.
Well, I love bozo.
You do? Does that mean you really love your mommy? And your daddy? And your sister? Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. What about me, Kenny?
Bozo.
I love you too, sweetheart. Now, come on. Your mother's waiting downstairs. I don't want any dawdling out of you today, okay? Okay, let's go.
Another 90-minute hour, Doc.
Eric, you must camp outside my door.
No, it's just that I've got your schedule down. Half past my manic depressive, you've got a 45-minute break.
Well, I'm glad to know you do see a couple of patients during the course of the day.
Look, I was just hoping that you would relent and finally accept my dinner invitation.
Eric.
The beach at sunset, candlelight, an amusing Beaujolais, a handsome beau.
How many ways do I have to say this? I am involved.
With a married man, a sweet-looking Baptist like you, huh? I find that too hard to believe.
Ex-married man, Eric. Ex.
The thought of some guy using you to mop up the mess of his marriage just makes me crazy. Especially when you could have me.
Pete and I are friends, Eric. Can you understand that? We have shared our dreams, our fears. We've bared our souls.
That's not all, I'll bet.
That is none of your business, Doctor. Now, if you will excuse me.
Hon, I'm still not sure that this is the right thing to do. I mean, this whole business just kills me.
Franklin, if we don't prepare Gwen for the end now, we'll be picking up the pieces for months.
Yeah, but how do you tell a friend that the guy she's been dating for the last 4 months is about to reconcile with his ex-wife? I mean, it just kills me.
Honey, we have got to tell her.
Yeah, but how can we do that without violating Pete's right to confidentiality as our patient? I'm telling you, this whole thing just killed me.
Say that one more time, Franklin, and I'll kill you.
I love it when you threaten me.
And I love threatening you.
Yeah, I thought you two were going to confine those carnal clinches to your office.
We were conferring.
Yeah, sure you were. I'm going to grab a bite downstairs. You want anything?
No, thanks.
Not lunching with Pete today?
No, not today. He's busy. But I'll see him at dinner. We're going to this great little place. It's cozy. It's got a great view of the city. An awesome chef.
Armando's?
No, Franklin. My place.
Oh, well, that doesn't sound like you'll be doing much talking.
We always talk, Franklin. That's what I love most about our relationship. I mean, for the first few months, all we did was talk.
It certainly sounds like it was a meaningful, open relationship.
Oh, it was the best. What do you mean, was?
Oh, we got a patient in 5 minutes. It's a cross-dresser, and I don't know what to wear.
Come back here, right here. Come here. Are you two trying to tell me something?
Yes.
No, not really.
By any chance, does this have something to do with Pete?
Oh, this really kills me.
Is this something I should know before I see Pete tonight? Well, obviously there's something you want me to know about Pete, but you can't violate his confidence. He's been talking about me a lot in his sessions, probably. He hasn't been talking about me a lot? But then... Oh, no, his ex-wife. Oh, my God. He's going back.
Gwendolyn.
You've said enough, Marion. Come in.
Hey, babe.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, I had a few minutes before I see Franklin and Marion, so I thought I'd stop by and have a little talk with you.
What was it you wanted to talk about?
Well, first, let me say this. I think you are one of the most incredible women I've ever met. I mean, I respect you. I like you. I love you, Gwendolyn Jones.
Do you really, Pete?
Oh, babe, don't ever doubt it. I've made a decision, but you have to help me work it out. Gwen, I need what you bring into my life. I need your openness, your trust, the incredible comfort of being loved, flaws and all.
But?
But?
I got a feeling there's a but coming now.
Well...
You're going back to your wife.
Well, yes and no.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, I'm going back, but you and I can just keep going the way we've been going.
You mean you and her and you and me?
Yeah.
How does Jessica feel about this arrangement?
She wouldn't know. It'll be our secret.
Cute. New age music, new age marriage. Why not?
Hey, if I didn't think you were the most liberated woman I know, I wouldn't even suggest this. I can still see you a couple of nights a week, now and then a weekend.
Maybe even take a trip, huh?
Sure. Sneak off somewhere like Mexico or Hawaii, Tahiti.
How about Beirut?
Beirut?
How about a one-way ticket for you to Beirut? That's where I'd like for you to slither off to now.
But Gwen, I thought...
You didn't think, you jerk. You were dreaming. I mean, how could you and pollute my ears with that low-life proposal. You know, you want to stir 2 pots with the same spoon, don't you? You know what? You get the hell out of my office, and if you ever so much as look at me again, honey, a marriage counselor won't be able to help you. You'll need an undertaker. Out!
Say, Gwen,
Yes, and pick me up at 7:30.
Hi. I'm Arnie. How about this one?
Sit down.
Sorry. What's the #1 show on TV right now? Cosby, right? Academy Award for Best Picture last year. Platoon. So, how about doing a show about a nice middle-class family that serves as a platoon in Vietnam? You could do all sorts of things with it. Like the teenage boy could go bananas and become this killing machine, and the dad has to explain to him why indiscriminate killing is wrong. Or the whole family could come down with leeches at the same time. It's a riot.
Excuse me, I think I have to go to a meeting.
No, wait. You could do a spin-off. Sir? Sir?
No, I'm not going to try and sell you a show. Whether or not any of these ideas ever make it to a series, well, who knows? Right now, I'd like you to meet the gentleman who created the idea for the American Film Institute Comedy Writers Workshop and tonight's program, the president of NBC Entertainment, Mr. Brandon Tartikoff. Brandon, welcome. And thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Listen, I want to ask you.
Was that really you talking out there?
Actually, it was my evil twin.
You have an evil twin? I didn't know that. Maybe there's a series in it. Well, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thanks. NBC is pleased to have sponsored the first AFI Television Writers Workshop, which brought you this quality television special. I'm equally pleased that ABC and CBS have joined with us to sponsor AFI Writers Workshops on a rotating annual basis. That's good news for all of us and for you, the television audience.
Brandon, is there anything more you wanted to say?
Well, just that I'm a little disappointed that nobody asked me to be in any of the sketches tonight.
Don't push it, Brandon. Just say good night.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this very special evening.
Okay, ready, gang? Gang?
Later tonight, it's better than a bedtime story. It's the best of Carson with Johnny's guests, Carl Reiner and Roy Blount Jr. Then from New York, it's Late Night with David Letterman and Dave's guest, comedian John Viner. The best of Carson and Late Night with David Letterman. Late night fun into the wee hours tonight on NBC.